Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Where is he? Nekama? I think he has something up his sleeve. He's coming out with something. He's here. Where's your father? Really? Oh wow. Okay. We cut it out. We cut that whole piece out, I hope. Lili Nishmasi I went this really straight. Rabbi said, check out this video from Rabbi. Check it now from Torah V'das. You ready? Very nice. Again, it's so good. We'll hear it again. So it's so chashuv. All together, listen to this. That's today's chinuch. I'm the Rav of congregation Beth Hamedrash in Wynwood, Pennsylvania, where the Rasner family are members. It was amazing to see the support from the MDY MSP throughout Yossi's illness and after he passed away. I was nispoil from the members of the Chavi that joined the Levaya, learned in Yossi's merit, and for those hardy souls that made the trip down to Philadelphia during Shiva. I know that it brought much solace and comfort to the Rasner family. I appreciate that this year has been able to form a Chavi of people that care so deeply for each other. In a world that can often feel lonely to so many, this year has succeeded in increasing Ahavas Yisrael, creating a true sense of belonging and a feeling of achrayus for the other members of Klal Yisrael. It's beautiful to see a Chavi that was built on Talmud Torah expand to so many other areas of life. Yasher koyach on your amazing work. Yona Gross. So when I did speak to Jeff, he told me, one of the first things he says, I'm going to take your advice, or I took your advice, and I jumped the 7 daf of the Shiva and went straight into the daf. So he should have a Nechama, and Be'ezer Hashem will see him in Miami, where I think he's a big sponsor over there. Yishkoyach Reb Jeff Rasner. Dear Reb Eli Shlita, my father, which is in his chus that I'm addicted to the Shir Baruch Hashem, went through a heart surgery 2 days ago. We're still in the hospital. His name for davening for full recovery, and that he should be able to continue to be able to listen to his Shir is Ruven Chaim Ben Tilo Bris Haguva Nefesh. And yes, we're both Belzer MDYers. Thanks, Hershey Weinberger. And here is the famous Noam Fix. You can look at the picture if you want. Last month's Shabbos, we celebrated the engagement of my niece. The girl shrieked when the kala came in, but my boys were most excited when Noam Fix came in. They have no pictures with the Bali Simcha or family members, but they did grab a picture of the real-life Baldwin brother. Mazel tov and keep up everything you do. Avi Berg, big, that's a big shidduch. The 2 basketball from Olchel, yeah, unbelievable. He was on the Meaningful People, by the way. Yeah, I don't know if you know. Berg, yeah. Morty Berg. AB, listen to this. This is the famous AB from Chicago, the kid that stumped me when he was 10 years old in the middle of a shir. So AB wasn't feeling well. The kids, they ran to the hospital. He has an appendicitis. Kitzer, he asked, the father was home to come. It was running to the hospital. He says, AB, what do you want me to bring to you? What did he think he said? Bring me the Gemara and the laptop. Thanks for giving such a geshmak share that AB wants the daf even when he's in pain. Sammy Joseph, check out the picture of AB in bed learning. This is not a fake. This kid is the real deal. He just had his bar mitzvah. Meir Spiro from Lakewood area, hatorah. Thank you very much again for amazing shir. Thanks to the amazing team that puts together, the camera crew, the graphic artist. I should really go on and on. Amazing the shir is, but you always skip the thing and you get straight to the point. I was very excited to meet the new character in today's shir, Fischl. I love how you guys constantly find new shtick and exciting things. I have a great new idea. I think MDY should auction off the next character that will be used in the next shir. I'm sure that many people would actually bid to have their picture of themselves to be used during the shir. Especially like those guys who went out looking for the book, Guy with the Dummies. Guy for the Leo. P.S. So I'm saying if you're going out to look for that book, maybe you'll pay money. P.S. Please, can you tell Reb Nachman Seltzer to stop shuckling back and forth during shir? For those of us who watch on a high speed of two, you get very dizzy. Should I take that out, Nachman? I can take it out if you want.
You can tell this guy, whoever he is.
Whoever he is, and Spira. You can make a story out of this in the book.
I'll tell you, there's a famous story.
Yeah.
The night of Yehuda, that said they wanted to see if he's stuck as smart as they think he is. So they brought in a guy to shir who knew how to learn very good. And he was asking kashas and after the shir they said to him, Rebbe, what do you think about him? He said, he's very good, but he's not a yid. They said, how do you know? He said, he didn't shaka.
Unbelievable. All right. I don't want to say my line because it's not nice. Those who shuckle don't know how to learn. Whatever. I'll call upon him. Baruch Hashem, didn't hear. What he's saying is the dizzy part. You put on there's something you don't know about this stuff, but on YouTube you could speed it up and the shuckling goes quick. Yosef is going to have a ball with us. He's going to show Nachum going like yesterday, today. Okay, today's call sponsored. May we always be able to support Torah, and may the Torah protect us from any harm. The Masechta is sponsored in Sgula Torah in Tומכיה כיעקב ויעל. And now we have a special video from Gary. He worked on this for days. I'm not joking. Yeah, show it. I also give a shir, by the way, not just so Benny Rodnik Yishkoyach, who took up this amazing thing. He's financing it, he's pushing it, he's meeting with them and coffee machines and coffee people that are in charge of the coffee, the whole thing. 7:15 every morning, starting when? After volume 2. This is the start of the volume 2. He took my advice, don't start today, push it off to the next volume. Shkoyach, no, but Benny, unbelievable. And if that works well, Be'ezer Hashem, coming to Lakewood soon. No, I don't know. Any place that would be interested in something like that.
What's the address of Shari Chesed?
In the Kapochnitz, Akalir, Hakal 59. Kuf Lamed. And there's a shir this month of Shabbos there just to introduce the oilam to that shul, but the actual thing is starting on what day? Friday. You start on a Friday, the hardest day of the week. The koilel, may we always be able to support Torah. May we, we said already. The month, Lili Nishmas Zechrya ben Moshe, Lili Nishmas B'tzlאל ben Moshe, by Shami and Chavi, Siegelman, Lili Nishmas, Esther Bas Reb Shimon Aleh Shalom, and Ruchama Chaya Puromã Bas Reb Doiv Pנחas Aleh Shalom. The art is sponsored. The first month of the art is sponsored by Anonymous from Lakewood. V'schos v'znisis shiduchim. And Rabbi Isai, I forgot to mention yesterday, I was at the bar mitzvah of Avi Gargir, and the son Yona was a big part of the shir. So mazel tov to Avi, who takes care of all the gashmias of the shir on a daily basis. So Yishkoyach should have a lot of nachas. I don't know, where is he? There wasn't the Shara boys when I walked in, was there? There was, and okay. Rabbi Isai, we are holding in middle of Daf Lamed Vav base, smack in the middle. Boy, Minei, we have some guests. What's your name, Tzaddik?
Mordechai Pollack from West Hempstead.
Mordechai Pollack from West Hempstead. Who else? Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Alicia Wiesenberg from Los Angeles. How's it going, Los Angeles? We got to be mechazik the place. We're hanging, just hanging. We got to more than hang. All right, Yishkoyach. What's your name? Larry Gazowski from Dallas. We love Dallas. Oh, Shalom Aleichem. From London. Shkoyach. Unbelievable. Who else? Oh, Shalom Aleichem. Okay, you're not a guest. What a guest. Okay, what? Who's back left? Oh, he's hiding. Shalom Aleichem. Whatever. Okay. Rabbi Isai. On my right. Oh, Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? David Miller from Muncie. Shalom Aleichem. Here you go. Wow. Wow, a lot of guests. Shalom Aleichem and welcome. Says the Gemara, Boy Minei Rabbi Yirmiyah Reb Zera. Rabbi Yirmiyah asked Reb Zera, hatorah mishaloya shel chaveroi. So going back to this case from yesterday, you have Yossi Klein in the Streigel. He has his own fruit, his own potatoes. He wants to give those potatoes to a Levi, to a Kohen, whatever it is, whether it's Truma or Meiser, and he wants to do B'Yom Schwartz a Toiva. Oh, yeah. I had over here, I was supposed to show yesterday, why did we use the potato head? Because I actually got a gift from Uncle Phil. This is the original potato head from Amazing Savings. This is the last one they had, and it's actually a great gift because I could give it to my grandchildren. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, shkoyach. Here, Nachman, no, I'll put it over here. Shkoyach. And it came with a whole letter. I'm not going to read the whole letter now. But kitzur, that it says, you made fun of us and you used us in your shir. I'm not a baldman or I'm not a bad eyeing girl. We have heads and shoulders, knees and toes. We also have eyes and ears, a mouth and a nose. You call us a pikeach and removed our ability to speak. All you ever care about is your daily Daf Yomi sheer streak. We're not MDY merch, which people have to pay, but we still don't mind if you put us on display. Happy birthday. P.S. We've been doing the Daf since Yivamas Kuf Yud Beis. I guess that's when I introduced the potato head. All right. Who's the Hana? Okay, so it goes like this. Rabbi said it goes very, very simple. Yossi Klein marries the five-towner because it makes a lot of sense. And they have a Yerushalmi girl. That girl marries a potato head, Cohen. Huh? Yossi, come here for a second. I know you don't like this. I know you hate this, but do me a favor. Come here. Yossi, please. And oh, a minute, I'm not done. Gary, you'll show that later. And then as he comes, I got to show this thing. They have a baby. So now Yossi Klein is grandfather. The baby is a Kohen. The baby's a Kohen. Yossi Klein is not a Kohen. Yossi Klein will pay another Yisrael money so that you give your truma to his grandchild who's a Kohen. Yossi Klein is Yisrael. A Kohen cannot pay for truma. The potato head cannot pay money to somebody to give his son truma. That's awesome. But a Yisrael grandfather could pay somebody a little money. You have a pile of truma, it's worth $1,000. I'll give you $20 because you have to give it anyways to Kohen. I want you to choose my grandson as the Kohen. That's a Toivas Hana. Come here a second. I gotta do something for a second. Come, stand over here. I know you hate this. But you do anything to get one person to the shir, right? Including standing right here and be mevuyish. You masking? Okay. Rabbi, I just want to tell you real quickly. This will give you chizik and gives me chizik on a daily basis. Here's a person who owns a successful plumbing business. He has 20-something employees. You know how much time he spends on a daily basis with his company? I don't know, 2 hours. The rest, MDY, I'm not joking. He hired a secretary that works for him full-time just for MDY stuff. He's the one that came up with the Gemara initiative, him and Nisan Al-Gans. Everybody got a free Gemara in MDY, it's because of him. Not only did he start it, but he pushes it on a daily basis. He puts in hours and hours. If somebody needs a ticket to fly into CM, he pays for the ticket. He paid for every single Ami magazine marketing campaign, and all from his own pocket. But he has one goal in life. He really wants more Hasidim to join. He fights on a weekly basis. He's going to kill me later. On a weekly basis, people from his own mishpacha tell him, how in the world do you listen to Litvak? He doesn't have a beard. He speaks in English. But Lamaisa, did it change your life? It changed his life. He learns Chazara on Shabbos, the 7th daf. He learns on the plane. He told me when he came down from Eretz Yisrael, he was dead tired, 2 a.m. He didn't go to sleep before he did the daf. His wife told me, she has more respect for him. It changed his life. She told me a drasha for an hour. And he wants to impart that to other Yidden, and especially other Hasidim. So if you're Hasidish, you're on the brink, you're not sure, you should learn from that Litvak without a beard. Yossi, what do you tell them? Look at the busha, look at the nevach, look at him. But you might be mechazik one Yiddish and neshama. It was all worth that busha. Yishkoyach. Rabbi said the amount that he does is unbelievable. Yishkoyach gadol. Just watch this thing here. Not planned. Where's my? I need water after that.
You wouldn't have showed up today if it was planned.
That's right. Unbelievable. I'm on this ball on a daily basis.
Give him Mr. Potato Head.
No. Don't exaggerate. That's for my kid. Listen, he gave this year $200,000 from his own pocket, but the potato head is mine.
10 minutes left.
All right. that stigma that Hasidim have, not all Hasidim, a lot of Hasidim, it's a stigma. And even if they watch, they don't tell people about it. And this, it's Torah, it's going to change your life. Forget about the others, forget the naysayers. Every week, on a weekly basis, he tells me these mices. Says Gemara. So now, it's not a joke. Who gets the cash? Who gets the little bit of money that Yossi Klein will give Yossi Klein in this case? Because if you go back, Yossi Klein is giving, somebody will pay Yossi Klein in this picture a little bit of money so that he gives his little pile to Yossi Klein's Yankel. It doesn't make any sense, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay. There's a Toivas HaNoyer. Without Yossi Klein's little pile, Ben Schwartz's pile wouldn't be ready to eat. It would be Tevel or Dilma. Now, everybody in the right mind over here, logically speaking, of course he gets the money. It's his fruit. Why shouldn't he get the money? The Gemara has a havamina than not. And then he actually brings a pasuk. Ilav karidau lehavim perid dahadein truma. What do you mean? Without Binyamin Schwartz's giant pile, Yossi Klein's small pile wouldn't be anything. It wouldn't be truma. Amalei, don't worry. I know it's almost annoying. But Omakra is called for zarecha v'nosata. Your pile, Binyamin Schwartz, it's his hana. Yossi Klein pays for it. I did. Which one? I thought I did it. Okay, we'll say it anyways for you. Oy Dilma, ilav karidahu, lo haven't paid that day. Truma. Amalei Omakra is called for zarecha v'nosata. It says, and it's a Xeris HaKosev. Yes, it doesn't make sense. The Xeris HaKosev, whoever owns the giant pile, he gets to decide where the little bit of money that the small pile is worth, where that money goes to. Eisvei, I have a question. It says in our Mishnah that if somebody's mother had know from you, you're permitted to go ahead and do the truma for him. But if you say that the owner of the big pile is going to get $25 from somebody else randomly because Yossi Klein gave the whole pile to a certain Cohen, and that Cohen's grandfather paid not Yossi Klein, but Binyamin Schwartz the $25 of that small pile. The owner of the big pile is having anah from Yossi Klein indirectly. He's getting cash in his pocket, and that's also his mother hana. He can't. So you see from here a raya from our Mishnah that who gets the hana? The guy that owns a small pile, he gets the taivas hana of that small pile for himself, and it doesn't go to the owner of the large pile. Amri, no, you could push it off. Loy, Mishal Balakri, Al Balakri. We're talking about this case. We're talking about that there was only one pile. There was one pile owned completely by the guy on the left, by Binyamin Schwartz. Yossi Klein didn't donate any of his own fruit. Well, he died to the Balakri, and it was with the consent of Binyamin Schwartz, the guy on the left. And he screamed out, like we said yesterday, so who owns the truma in this case? All the fruit is owned by Binyamin Schwartz. So of course Binyamin Schwartz could get the taivas hana, the little bit amount of money that small pile of koyhan and potatoes goes to a certain person's grandchild and he gets a little money from it. Of course it goes to the owner of the large pile. No raya from here whether or not the taivas hana goes to the owner of the large pile or the owner of the small pile. Later on, we're going to resolve it that it actually goes, like we thought logically, that it goes to the owner of the small pile, because it's a taivas hana from that small pile. Toshma. Check this out for a second. Again, Yossi Klein the Nadiv, the Bal Chesed, he decided to give from his own flock of sheep, he's going to give a chatos for Binyamin Schwartz. He heard that Binyamin Schwartz did an aveira, he was B'chal Shabbos B'shoigeg. He says, I'm going to give the carbon. Now, if the carbon, you want to take it out of Hegdish, it has a mum, you're going to take it out of Hegdish, you're going to pay money to the Beis HaMikdash to take it out. Who pays the extra chaimish, the extra 25%? Yossi Klein. But who has the ability to make the Isser called Tmura? Who has the ability to say, I don't like Yossi Klein's animal, let me flip it into another animal, let me exchange it, Tmura, exchange it into this other sheep? Only Binyamin Schwartz, only the owner of the carbon. In this case, the owner is considered Binyamin Schwartz and not Yossi Klein. In the case of paying the 25%, Yossi Klein is considered the owner. Okay, That's not what we're trying to get to. Hamagdish, the guy that did the kachim and made it a chatas, he's the one Moisav Chaimish. Umiskaper, the one that receives the kapara, he's the one that he has the ability to do tamura. Now this is what we're looking for. But if you go back to the case of, I have to go all the way back here, a case that somebody, Yossi Klein, takes his own fruit and does B'yam Schwartz a favor by doing truma on it, who gets the Toivas Hana'ah? Here it says Mefurish in the Braisa, Yossi Klein gets the $25. Okay, next sugya. Melamdoi Medrash, halachas v'agadois. If somebody's mudar hana, you cannot benefit from me. I can teach you Torah. That's not a problem. Avalo yilamdeno mikra, you cannot teach him chumash. Mikra matayim lo yilamdeno. Why not? Mishum nikum hanilei. He gives him hana. He would have to hire a tutor, and right now he doesn't have to pay for a tutor. What? No. Yossi is magdish for Binyamin. He's magdish. He's paying an animal for Binyamin. So Yossi is Moisav Chaimish. Says Gemara, I give you hana by me teaching you. You just saved $50 an hour on a tutor. Medrash nami come hanalei. So what's the difference if it's medrash or chumash? Amar Shmuel b'makim shenoitam sachar al mikra ve'noitam sachar al midrash. We're talking about such a case that typically a tutor takes money on chumash but not on the medrash. My pascha. Maybe it's the opposite. So just say the nafkamina in a place that you take money in tutor. Why are you saying it that's chumash and medrash? It doesn't fit into the words. Hakam ashmalah. Top of Lamed Zayin Amud Aleph. Wow, 8 minutes to do Amud Aleph and Amud Beis. 4 minutes each. Even in a place. Oh, that's not the.
21 minutes left. 21 minutes.
Oh, don't tell me
There's 3 blood.
Oh, wow. Oh, Kamash Malon. It does. 3 stories, but I'm going to control myself. What? Okay, fine.
There's a potato head with a fig leg.
Okay, this is the chiddush. Even in a place where they take money, ala mikra on chumash, shari lemishkal, al medrash le shari lemishkal. We're teaching you a chiddush. There's only one type of Torah that you're allowed to take money for: teaching chumash. So, since the minhag right over here is to take money on chumash, so I can't teach you, because if I teach you, you're saving that money that in this neighborhood people pay good money for chumash tutors, and you're mudahana from me. You can't benefit from me, and by me teaching you, you just save $50 on a tutor. What about medrash? So they don't take money in this place for teaching medrash. So I could teach you. What about the hana of me teaching you? The benefit of the Torah that I'm teaching you, that's mitzvahs lav lehenos nitnu. The benefit of the money part, that's a problem. And on medrash they don't take money. On chumash in this place they do take money. Now, you should just know a very, very important thing. Hillel, you're going to love this. I'm telling you right now. There's, just like we say, kol mezei noisav shel adam ksuvim lo mirosh Hashanah ad Rosh Hashanah, there's also a concept, kol hana oisav shel adam ksuvim lo mirosh Hashanah ad Rosh Hashanah. A person is allotted a certain amount of hana, certain amount of enjoyment in this world. The Vilna Gaon says that it's a shame. The Balei Aveira, they take a certain hana and they get a einish for it. They get a certain einish. Just if you were to take the same exact hana beheter, you'd get schar on it. You just have to know how to take it. The Ben Ish Chai says that a person could use up his hana in this world with a machshava. If he fantasizes about a new car, he's using up that hana of, he could have had the real car in real life, but him thinking about him, going on vacation, is that, you're using up your hana, because you only have a certain amount of hana in this world. The one exception is Torah and mitzvahs. You could have hana, as much hana as you want, a physical hana from Torah, and that doesn't come off your cheshbon of hana. Shkaya, you just ruined the whole video. This was supposed to be a clip on Torah anytime. And okay, I was just thinking as a side point, I have no idea if this is, but sometimes you find that people that are on drugs, they suffer from depression. They have a lot of downs. It could be because they're using up. Everybody has a certain amount of a lot of they took it in what's the word no, when you pour water into the apple juice, the concentrate. They took it in a very concentrated way, and they the rest of their day is a fizzled out hana day. Okay, fine. Stop a thing. Who? Some people are always miserable. Those are you talking about Litvaks? Okay, says the Gemara. Maishna midrash deloy siva oisi tziva Hashem be'eis ahi lamed as Moshe Rabbeinu said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded me to teach you. I have a chiyuv to teach you Torah. Uchsiv re'ei limati eschem chukim u'mishpatim kasher tzivani Hashem. So the Ran goes into this whole thing that it's impossible that Hashem, you don't see anywhere that Hashem told him to take money for it. So obviously it's for free. So mani bechinam, avatem bechinam. So therefore it's also for me to take money for medrash. It says in the pasuk, I have to teach. HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded me to teach you and to teach you for free. That's the Gemara. So if I can't take money for medrash, mikranami bechinam. At the end of the day, I shouldn't be able to take money for teaching Torah. So real quickly, everybody's probably wondering the same thing. If it's so awesome to take money for teaching Torah, how are you a Rebbe in Cheder? How could you teach Torah as a Rebbe in Cheder? So the Ram brings on the spot, he brings a Yerushalmi, and this is what everybody's soymechan. There's something called Schar Batala. This Rebbe could have been, he's a yeshiva guy, he could have been a lawyer, he could have been this. He's taking Schar Batala, exactly what Schar Batala is, minimum wage, or his potential, what he could have earned. So that's the heter. What about guys that learn in Koilel? So that the Beis Yosef gave a heter, 400, 500 years ago. He said that we're not seeing a lot of results with people that work and learn at the same time, so that we should pay people to learn Torah full time. Okay. Zog the Gemara. So what's the reason why Chumash I'm allowed to teach? It's the same pasuk. The pasuk says you should not take money for teaching Torah. So what could be a reason why Chumash is different? Rav Amar Schar Shimur. Who am I teaching Chumash to? Usually it's small children in Cheder. Small children in Cheder, they need a babysitter. That's one of the main 90% of the reason we send our kids to Cheder, probably, not to teach them a few psukim, to take care of them the whole day. You have a professional babysitter. Yes, no, that's what they're doing. They're doing shimur. It's a fact. They're watching your kids. So you're paying them a little bit of shimur. I was thinking, maybe that's why I'm allowed to take money for the shir. For the emails, for the jokes, you can't take for the thing. Technically speaking, I could. I knew that you guys are going that way. I didn't want no for the extracurricular stuff. It just so happens to be I might be one of the only Maggid Yishurim in the world that actually pay to say a shir. But okay, that's a different thing. Technically speaking, I can make money on this. Zog the Gemara. So Rav says shimur. Rabbi Yochanan Omar Schar Pisuk Taimim. This is called what we call today trop, the song in what? Where? The song that we sing, the taimim. How do you say taimim? The trop. Okay, everybody knows what I'm talking about. Pashta, munach zarga. Okay. I have to show you. This I have since I'm a little kid. My father told this to me when I was a little kid, and I always went on this. And actually, this caused me one of my greatest hanas in my life. This week's parasha, Vinei Rachel. I'll ask you a question. Don't even show it. What does the word ba mean? Ba means she came. Came. Vinei Rachel ba. Did she came already, or she's gonna come?
She's coming.
She's coming.
She's coming.
Yeah? Well, whatever you say, you're wrong. So take a look at the pasuk. There's two psukim here. Vinei Rachel bitay ba imatzayin, v'Rachel ba imatzayin. One of them, the trop, the tipcha, vercha tipcha. Tipcha is on the aleph, and in the beis, the revi is on the beis. So one is ba'a, she's still coming. Vinei Rachel bitay ba'a, she's still coming. V'Rachel ba, you have to put the emphasis on the beis, she already came. So over here you see, in this week's parasha, exactly what the Gemara is saying, Pisuk Taimim. Where you put the trop changes the meaning of the pasuk. Now, one of my greatest hanas in my life was, I waited for many, many years for this to happen. I was waiting for the Balkara to make the mistake. And finally, one day, V'Rachel ba, and I scream out, ba! Ba! No, it's an afkamin in the pshat in the word. And I just gave such hana. Wow. It's MS. When I lived in Lincolnwood, you could ask anybody in Lincolnwood, you could ask the Rav. Reb Chaim Twersky got up one Shabbos and he banged on the bima and he said, Rabbi Isai, nobody is allowed to correct the Bakara besides Eli Stefansky. I'm serious. He knows what he's doing. What? That was I think he just wanted to shut me up. From then on, I never fixed. No. I might show you. You could ask him. Chaim Twersky from Lincolnwood. Only Eli. Fine. No, like a guy thinks that we don't have anah. We don't have anah. A Jew walks into shul and they finds out that there's no tachnun that day. The biggest anah in the world. Or to fix about kaira, eilucha anah g'day l'mazu. Wow! A guy never could appreciate such a thing. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Everyone can fix about kaira except for Alex.
Yeah. Okay. Now, according to Rabbi Yochanan, Pisuk Taimim is only a derabanan. According to Rav, Pisuk Taimim is the deraisa. In other words, is Taimim, the Taimim come from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from Moshe Rabbeinu, and it was in the Torah, and you have to do it this way? Says Rav, yes. That's why you can't take money for it. But Rabbi Yochanan says, I can take money for it. You know why? Because it's not a deraisa. So, there will be a huge nafkamina la'alacha. According to Rabbi Yochanan, you're allowed to teach an older person who doesn't need shimur. An older person, you could teach him timing because Let me think for a second. According to Rabbi Yochanan, so a gadol doesn't have shimur. You don't watch him. Just what? You're teaching him timing. Huh? Right. You're allowed to take money because since it's not the Yeraisa, I don't have to do it. And I'm teaching you time. I'm taking money on that. So even though I'm mudar hanar from you, I'm taking money for that. Okay. What? No, it's mutter. According to Rabbi Yochanan, it's mutter. Mudar hanar will be aser, but I'm allowed to take money stamazoi from a guy for teaching you time. If not, lo yalam deno mikra. We learned in our Mishnah. You can't teach somebody chumash. If I'm allowed to take care of this, I'm allowed to take money for teaching you taimim to be a bar mitzvah teacher. So that's why I'm not allowed to teach you because you're saving that money and you're mudar hanar for me. No, I'm just looking here what I wrote. I can't even read my own handwriting. Oh, yeah. But if the pshat is that I'm doing babysitting, there's no. So what's the nafkamina? There's no babysitting on a gadol. So says the Gemara, okay. So if there's no babysitting on a gadol, b'katan katani. So you have to say that the whole Mishnah we're talking about only a katan. Okay, if that's so, but I'm trying to get somewhere. So it can't be a gadol because there's no babysitting on a gadol. You don't babysit older people. You're babysitting a katan, that's the problem. You could teach the katan's children Torah. Hey, a katan doesn't have children. Katan barbanamu. Says, okay, you're right. You just have to understand what the Mishnah is talking about. There's two parts of the Mishnah. The first part is don't teach a minor chumash. Why? Because you're babysitting him, and that baby, he's saving the money in babysitting. But if he's an adult, milamdei ulabanav mikra. So, but if he's a gadol, you can teach him, and you can teach his children. Why can you teach his children? It's still hana. Okay, because the Ran says you're allowed to even if you're mudar hanar from Ruvain, you're allowed to feed Ruvain's children. You're allowed to give them food. You're saving Ruvain all that money costs him typically to feed his children. That's okay. So I'm allowed to teach the guy that is mudar hanar from me. I'm allowed to teach his children for the same reason. A child should not learn new stuff on Shabbos, new Torah on Shabbos. You only can do chazara with him. If you're teaching him Taimim, okay, I understand. the Shabbos. But if the whole problem is babysitting, so what's the nafkamina? Whether I'm babysitting him when he learned it the first time, or I'm babysitting him when it's the second time of review. It's still babysitting. Regardless, you can't put enough gemina here for if you're telling me I'm teaching him timing for the first time, so it's very hard. And for that I take money, okay. And if it's just a chazara, so I don't mind, I don't take money. I can make enough gemina if it's chazara, not chazara. But if it's babysitting, what's the difference if it's the first time or the fifth time for babysitting? Babysitter takes the same rate regardless of how much Torah the guy knows. Says Gemara, just let's think about it. Why can I teach a guy chumash even though there's money involved? Havlai, it's swallowed into the whole bill that I pay. If I pay the guy a monthly rate, I should be able to teach him on Shabbos also. Shari. Why? How do I know that's mutter? So you have like this. You have in the time of the Beis Hamikdash when they had a paraduma, they put a bunch of women that were pregnant and they gave birth on a rock, and those children were brought up at the Hara, but they need somebody to watch them. The paraduma we know is a very expensive thing. You need somebody to watch a paraduma, that nobody should play with it, sit on it, put something on it. Yoshi did a piece of art here. You can appreciate it, not appreciate it. Here's a paraduma that somebody spray painted with a bottle, not a real. The guy got scammed. And here we have Dr. Factor's Ritalin gun. He's shooting these ADD kids that want to play with the paraduma. That's his shmira. But he's not here, Dr. Factor. We love him. He's in America somewhere. I'll go upon him. Fine. Here's a kid that wants to put something on the cow. Here's an Arab that just pulled off a scam. He sold the guy a white bull, but it was he painted it red. Fine. Let me show that. And then here's the Omer. You have some wheat. You have to make sure, and over here on the side, it says in Taisvis, in the Rosh or the Taisvis, I think it's the Taisvis. Yeah, the Taisvis that we're talking about on Shemitah, it's even more important. The svichim that just grow, the barley that grows out of the ground, you have to make sure that you have enough for the Omer, so you have a guy watching it. Lishma says, Roim, that's that. You can't pay him for Shabbos at all. Lefichach, since you can't pay him. A Gevaldika Maisa. I got to tell you this Maisa. If you didn't hear it, it's unbelievable. A woman had to go to a Simchan Shabbos. She was stuck. She didn't have a babysitter. She didn't know what to do. She came with a Murdi Gechak. She heard that there's a Gemach for missing children. So she went, knocked on the door, and said, I found this child. Could you take care of the child until the parents come? No problem. She went to the Simcha. 3 hours later, she comes back. I'm the mother of the child. Then she asked the Shaila, does she have to pay for the babysitting? Schar Shabbos, not schar, she's a Ganav, not a Ganav, the whole. I thought it's a very, whatever. Yeah, I'm just thinking about her. What mother would even do that? Forget about the babysitting. What? Okay, leave your kid with a stranger. And okay, fine.
There's people who send their kids to Shabbos groups and shul, just go to different shuls to daven.
Oh, you mean you come into that shul, put your kid in the group, and then you leave? Okay. Yankel Cohen, the official MDY MSP, l'schos, being able to support limud hatorah and to finish shots with the rebellion. Im avdu. Now, this guy can't take money for Shabbos. This Dr. Factor can't take money for Shabbos. Im avdu. If the party gets lost, the barley gets lost. Why? Because he's a shomer chinam. Pater b'gnei v'aveda. V'im hoya sachir Shabbos. Schir Shabbos. If you got money for Shabbos, schir chodesh for a week. Sorry, Shabbos for the week. Schir chodesh for the month. Schir shana for a year. Schir shavua for 7 years. Noisen loy schar Shabbos. Then he could be mavliya. He could swallow within the week, the month, the year, the schar of that 1 day Shabbos. Lefichach. Im avdu. Now he becomes a shomer sacher. He gets paid for that day. Chayev b'achrayuson. He's chayev b'achrayus. So you see from here that what? I'm allowed to take money for Shabbos. If I'm a tutor, if I just work that Shabbos, fine. But if I'm a typical tutor, I get paid monthly. I'm on a salary. I should be able to get money for the Shabbos b'havla. How does Rabbi say? How does Bal Korah make money for reading the Torah? A lot about not here in our show, but a lot of Bal Korah, they make $50, $100 a week, whatever it is. Huh? Preparation. And if he doesn't have to prepare?
You have to prepare at some point.
Huh? Bavlov Megillah Esther. Okay, that one I never heard of, but interesting. Fine. Why can't you teach him? Listen to this. Rabbi Isai, this will change your life right here. Why can't you teach a kid new material on Shabbos? Mishum the yifnu havasain the inuke lemitzvasa, because we want, the Shabbat, the mitzvasa the Shabbat. We want the father to be involved with his children. It's a mitzvah on Shabbos to accompany and spend time with your children on Shabbos. You hear this? Unbelievable. The Gemara says it's a mitzvah to spend time with your children on Shabbos. And we're concerned that if he's going to be learning in Cheder on Shabbos, like the Zilbermans, one of the very nispal from the Zilberman thing, which all the schools, Zichru, there's like 60, 70 Zichru schools in Eretz Yisrael, which they learned the whole Torah Baal Peh. And unbelievable. I have nephews and all sorts of people in my family that know Tanakh Baal Peh, or at least Chamish Mamish Baal Peh. They could be a Balkaira on any parish without preparing. Zichru. But the main one is Zilberman, and they learn, not in Zichru, but in Zilberman, they learn on Shabbos and Yantif. And when I was in the old city for Shabbos, I had long conversations with these kids. They claim they love it. They don't know a different life. They go Chalamayid, Shabbos, Yantif, every single day. Over here it says that it's a little bit of a problem because he might not come and the father wants to spend time with you. I heard unbelievable vart. I thought maybe I should use it for my Chumash thing, but I'll just tell it to you now. Hashoymer Shabbos, Habenim Abbas, Lokel Yiratzu Kimincha al Machvas. Hashoymer Shabbos. You want to be a Shoymer Shabbos? Spend time with your son and your daughter. A Mincha al Machvas, the ani who doesn't have any money, he gives HaKadosh Baruch Hu his last flour that he has. Instead of using it for his breakfast, he brings it on a machvas. It's the cheapest carbon you could give. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves so much. Lokel Yiratzu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will love the fact that you're spending time with your children. Kimincha al machvas, rather than you sitting and learning or schluffing, I should say, you spend time with your kids on Shabbos. Because you eat all that chont and all these other foods, then your stomach gets upset, you become lethargic, you become heavy. That by changing the type of food you eat, that causes stomach issues. And therefore, the kid is already weakened from all this food. And you shouldn't learn with him new stuff. There's a unbelievable chiddush. I don't understand it at all. But Yankel in the Yavitz, he says that it's usher for you to learn Torah b'iyun on Shabbos. It's too hard for you to do it, and if you do, you learn iyun chil Shabbos. He says. Now, obviously, there are a lot of people that argue with him. What do you mean? It's such a einik to learn b'iyun, etc., etc. But I got to tell you this: the Ksav Sofer, he would stop smoking, they say, on Thursday. So that when it came into Shabbos, he didn't have that withdrawal. He already was withdrawn. So I saw in the Betzina de Nahara, the Rebbe Mezbish, he says B'melitza, he says as a joke, that maybe that's the pshat why people eat all week long. They eat steaks and they eat this, because you don't want just to have a stomachache on Shabbos from all the steaks. So you start training your body. It's pashit Yimakayim mitzvahs Shabbos on it, like Shami. And then I also saw, there's a big problem to eat cholent Erev Shabbos, Toyamel, Lel Shabbos. You're not going to enjoy it on Shabbos. What are you eating at Erev Shabbos? No, fakert. That's what the who says it? The Nefesh Chaya. He says that's why fakert. You need to get your body used to it, and that's why we have the minhag of Toyamel. You eat all the schnitzel 5 minutes before Shabbos and all the geshmaka stuff. Fine. Zog the Gemara. My time alone was schar shimur. If you say that the reason I'm allowed to teach a kid on Shabbos is because I'm getting money for teaching him trop, I'm a bar mitzvah teacher. Why doesn't he say because you're teaching him, you're babysitting him? Because savar bonois miko bayin shimur. According, either you have the gear so that it says bonois or not, but regardless, there's no reason to say that girls are not included in this whole thing. And girls don't need babysitting. Why? Because they usually don't leave the house. In those days, they were homeschooled or whatever. They never left. So they didn't need babysitters. Why doesn't he say, why do you say babysitting? Say, because I'm teaching you taimim. So listen to this, Rabbi. He holds that taimim is deraisa. So it comes like this. I had this discussion a bunch of times with our famous Balkaira, Menachem Ateh. It comes out like this. Are you mechuyev to fix the Balkaira in general? What if the Balkaira, instead of saying darga severe, he said it b'asnachta. Do you have to stop him? Do you have to tell him, go back? Now, we have machlokes here. Are these timim d'oraisa? There's a Rav, the Golad Dar, says the timim are mamish d'oraisa. Rabbi Yochanan says it's not d'oraisa, and we passing like Rabbi Yochanan. So the Shulchan Aruch says like this: if a person makes a mistake even with one letter, you have to correct him. The Ramah says, but not in the timim or in the way it's spelled. Mitzrayim. You don't tell a guy ace s. You don't tell him to go back. Avogoyerim boy. You yell at him. That's what he's up to. Yell at him. The Mishnah Berurah says, if the nigun changes the meaning of the word, ba and ba, then you have to make him go back. What I've seen in some shuls, I'm not going to say or whatever, some places the Bakari doesn't care about a soif pasuk. It's just like one thing. No. They don't do the soif pasuk. Now, a lot of times you have a situation where you have a Bakari, you don't have a Bakari. Nobody knows how to lane. You're in a hotel somewhere, nobody knows how to lane. So what do? So Ramay Shavanshin says, don't use a chumash on the side. A lot of people look at the chumash, look at this. He's concerned that you're going to be looking at the chumash, not inside. You're not going to read from inside by mistake. It's better that another guy should read from a chumash and tell you what to do. But if you have to be makbid on one thing, you have to be makbid on soif pasuk. Stop the psukim, because it makes a difference in the meaning. And in asnachta, like the kama, where you go down. And this just brings one little, I said this, for some reason, it still irks me, I don't know why. I was in a hotel in Europe, and there's nobody laning there, and the guy asked me to lane. I didn't want to, so he said, there's nobody else. I said, okay. So I sat after the meal, and I prepared for hours. In the middle of the night, like at 12 o'clock, I don't know when, he comes over to me, he says, I see you preparing here, take a bottle, and gives me a bottle of water. I said, shkoyach, givaldik. When I checked out of the hotel, I saw he charged me for that bottle of water. Ma'aseh shaya.
You didn't want it to be Star Shabbos.
Oh, Ma'aseh shaya. It was a known hotel. That's what they did. That's why he closed down. I'll go upon him.
Yosef, take that out.
I didn't say what country. I mean, I happened to be skiing and everything, but I'm not going to say what country it was.
Happened to be in Switzerland.
All right. Fine. We'll stop over here. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.